for the amount of quotes he owns. The difference is that the capital needed to create an SRL is much lower than the capital needed to create an SPA. But
okay.
SRL has a slightly easier management regulation, but is the same. Usually, when your company needs a certain amount of capital to work, you need to go to SPA. If you
is it like, yeah, sure, please.
I can tell you exactly.
Is it like that SPA companies are public and SRLs are private?
Not exactly. Not exactly. Okay. No. I will tell you a couple of in Italy we have a different approach, which is not the Anglo-Saxon one. The SRL can have as low as 10,000 euros capital. Is limited, so you are liable only of your quote. Your personal wealth cannot be aggressed like in SPA, but it really is only the quantity, the amount of capital you have to put in. If you need to put a low amount, so you can create an SRL with at minimum 10,000, while just one moment.
Sure.
If you want to open an SPA, you need, I will tell you the exact amount. Both are capital companies, it's not person companies. You can have an SPA which is not quoted on the market.
So are these companies like, we have 4 Italian companies in our list, PM, Erecappa, Neopharma, and Professional Dietetics. All these are private companies or any of them are public companies in your, I mean, if you have
PM is not quoted on the market, so it's not a public company.
Okay.
It's privately owned.
And if you know about Erecappa and Neopharma?
I don't know, but Erecappa is not, I'm quite sure 99% is not quoted on the share market.
Okay, got it. And another thing I wanted to understand is the market, the FSMP market. So as you have also mentioned for Nutrego, that they have tube feed and then they have oral nutrition supplements. So in Italy, I wanted to understand what is the market share of oral nutrition supplement and what is the market share of tube feed?
In which company? I beg your pardon?
Not the company, in general in Italy. I mean, which product is more?
It really depends. It really depends. In PM, for example, the nutrition component was the 10%, and then now is growing, being 25%. You also please keep in mind that, for example, in PM, this I'm certain, even if the sales component is 25%, the profit component is 50%. FSMP are usually much more profitable than drugs. So you can see a lot of numbers, sales numbers in drugs and much lower in FSMP. Then you discover that the contribution is the same. At the very end, they contribute. In PM, I assume that FSMP business unit contributes to the profit for more than 50%. So you should be very aware that bigger sales doesn't mean bigger margin, because drugs are regulated and the price is given by the government. FSMP, you can decide your price, and the supplements, you can decide your margin.
Okay. I also wanted to understand between the FSMP products themselves. So, there is tube feed products also, which are also food for special medical purposes. Enteral tube feed, where you don't, you have directly added the food in your stomach. You don't have to take it like an oral supplement. It's more like a feeded by the tube. So I was wondering if there is some distribution.
You are talking about enteral nutrition. Yes.
Yes, enteral nutrition. So, I wanted to understand what is the market side.
So you have three steps in clinical nutrition. Supplementing, which is, if possible, the preferred one. 4 steps. Supplementing. Then if the patient becomes dysphagic, and this is very much possible because many of these the underlying disorders causes neurological impairment, you try to add a gelificant to make this food solid and avoid pneumonia by ingestis. Third step, you go with the tube, nasal tube, or you make a PEG, a direct hole from your belly to the stomach. And this is enteral nutrition, nasoenteral or PEG. And then, if it's not possible anymore, you go to parenteral nutrition by vein. Of course, as far as I know, you try to avoid enteral nutrition as long as possible. So I don't have the shares, but I suppose that in this kind of disorders, in phenylketonuria, for example, I've never heard about enteral nutrition, never. In sarcopenia, you can have sometimes enteral nutrition. I am aware, for example, it seems to me that there is a company we've seen during the last conference.
Nutrigo.
Yeah, and it has some enteral nutrition, but I assume that the enteral patient is a very, very difficult one. I assume that it could be just ballpark figures, 5% parenteral, 10% enteral, and the remaining powders, gel, liquids, everything.
Okay, got it. And I think one last question that I have is on PM. So I remember you mentioned that the FSMP segment, PKU contributes like around 70% of the total revenue from the FSMP segment, and when it comes to PM. Am I correct about that?
Yes. PKU, and, then non-PKU acidurias, which are similar but not PKU, UCD, methylmalonic aciduria, this kind of very limited amount. Then some aprotic pasta, aprotic powder like cinnamon, and then this milk, or this substitute of milk. But the big player is PKU formulas.
And under the PKU segment, I remember you mentioned Afenil, I think, as the main product range for PM.
Afenil, yes. Afenil, microfenil, Afenil Plus, is a big portfolio, and one of the competitive advantages that PM can offer liquid formulation for newborns, which don't need to be reconstituted